A well-known neo-Nazi says he bought 100 acres of land in Penobscot County with the goal of building a whites-only community. Good evening, I'm Brian Yukono.
And I'm Amanda Hill. His name is Christopher Pohlhaus, and we first reported on his move to the town of Springfield, Maine last year.
This is important because he is well known among hate groups such as NSC 131, who have recently targeted people in Maine. Our Jack Molmid has been following Pohlhaus and these hate groups for some time now.
He's here now with more on this latest development and what it actually could mean. Jack?
Well, Brian and Amanda, the Southern Poverty Law Center, it's an organization that tracks these hate groups. And they say Christopher Pohlhaus bought the land in Springfield, Maine. Those living in the town, though, told me they are concerned he could spread his Nazi ideology. I also spoke with extremism experts who say the creation of a white-only Nazi community in Maine could spark more showings of groups like NSC 131.
It's not about knowing people, understanding them, having empathy for them. It's literally power.
That's Christopher Pohlhaus speaking to Vice News last year when he first moved to Maine. Now, Pohlhaus is a well-known neo-Nazi with a large following on extremist social media.
I was not surprised that he was successful in buying 100 acres of land.
This is Professor Karen Sporer with the University of Maine. She studies domestic terrorism.
These spaces provide an escape from the mainstream, where people can openly celebrate their bigotry and hatred.
Since moving to Maine, county records show that Pohlhaus purchased land in Springfield, and according to Telegram Post and the Southern Poverty Law Center, his goal is to create a white-only community and train them to threaten others. His posts also show he recently drove around the country working to recruit people for land he says adds up to more than 100 acres. How you doing today?
Good, how are you?
And for residents in Springfield, the thought of a neo-Nazi inviting people to come live with him at a white exclusive camp is concerning.
Again, just because we've never had anybody that we're aware of like that around here, so they're a little concerned of it.
Pohlhaus is also known in the last year to join protests put on by NSC 131, the New England-based neo-Nazi group. Adding up to Portland police pointing their gun at neo-Nazi members when NSC 131 marched to Portland City Hall and punched a counter-protester, yelling homophobic and racist slurs. The city took months to investigate and in the end offered ways Portland police could respond better in the future. So if the city of Portland has its investigation on the neo-Nazi march that happened here on April 1st relatively wrapped up, and Christopher Pohlhaus's all-white camp he wants to have in Penobscot County still relatively under construction, why should the people of Maine really care about what's going on with the neo-Nazi movement here throughout the state?
They are racist to the core. They are anti-Semitic to the core. And they are using this camp to strategize on how to do us harm.
That's the author of the Southern Poverty Law Center's recent report on Pohlhaus. He says Pohlhaus and his followers are actively building their community in our state.
His goal is to eventually have houses there as well as communal spaces.
The thought process for Pohlhaus is that Maine continues to be a very white state, but Jeff Tischhauser says there's flaws in that thinking.
So they think that this white racial identity correlates to like some kind of neo-Nazi value or
Maine State Police tells me that they are aware of Pohlhaus's plans for his white community. We also reached out to Christopher Pohlhaus for details on his camp, but we have not heard back. We also reached out to the Portland Police to talk about how they are acting on the suggestions from the city after their response to the neo-Nazi march back in April, and they said nobody was available for an interview.
Jack Molmid, thank you.